Robert, Jared, congratulations. You boys have made it into the final round of this Greek mythology-inspired competition. Now, when you came here, we had you make signature blades in your signature style. That's not gonna happen at home. Instead, you'll be making this weapon from Greek mythology. The Sword of Perseus.
All right.
We'll see you in 4 days.
Good luck. Good luck.
Go get it. Hurry. She's a camera hog right there. It's day one. I'm getting ready to start making the Sword of Perseus. Never made a sword before, and now first one I'm making is a sword from a god, basically. So I'm gonna have to do my best to please the Greek gods. I'm going with the 80 CRV2. It's a good steel, it's tough, it holds a good edge. My main goal today is to get this thing forged to shape. For me, the most difficult part of forging the sword is getting the curves and the hourglass shape to it. I'm already getting kind of thin in the belly up here where I need it. So I'm kind of trying to avoid having to get the blade too thin. Taking a little longer than I'm wanting, but it's still going good.
It's day one. I'm back at my home forge in Middleburg, New York. I'm getting ready to start in the Sword of Perseus. It's gonna be a tricky sword to forge out for sure. I'm gonna try to make my blade out of Damascus. I've got 1084, I've got 15N20. I wanna do a twisted Damascus and then cut that in half and sandwich it around some solid 1084. And when I grind down my edge profile, the edge will show the 1084 when it's etched, and I think could really, really look pretty neat. The only time I've ever done twisted Damascus was with 2 people. We'll see how this goes doing it with 1 person. No, there's no way. I'm not even gonna bother with twisting. I'm just gonna go for a random pattern Damascus, start working this billet, cut it, restack it, and forge weld again.
Go get it. Today, I'd like to get the blade profiled a little better, heat treat it, and start working on the guard. So I'm getting ready to quench. As I heat the sword up for the quench, I've never done one this big, especially in my forge like this. It's a lot smaller, so I'm had to kind of go back and forth and move it in and out and get an even heat. Barely got the whole edge in there. Yeah, it's good. I'll take it. The heat treat's done. I'm gonna start working on the guard. I'm gonna use a Damascus just because I want to do something a little different. There we go. And I wanted to basically make things harder on myself.
Day 2, I got my billet with my 1084 core, and we're heading in the forge. The big thing today is gonna be profiling my blade, getting everything forged out. I need to keep on schedule, and I need to get the heat treat today. I'm moving a ton of steel. I'm going from the press, I'm going to the anvil, and then bam. My press is down. It is gonna put me really, really behind. I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I got nothing. It's all arm from here on out. The tang took a bit of time to get drawn out. Not having that press is costing me precious time. It's gonna be a fight to the finish.
Last day, I gotta get this thing finished up. I'm planning on starting off with the guard, getting that thing done, then start working on that disc pommel, and then the handle. The pommel's attached now, the horseshoe guards are attached. I gotta fit the wood basically in between the two. I wish I would've left the pommel off and done the wood first and then welded it on, but it's too late, and I just gotta kind of squeeze the stuff in there. It feels good to me. It's light, it feels pretty balanced. I feel good about my sword. It's a home run. Hopefully it's enough to where I can win the game. Girls, what do y'all think of Daddy's sword?
It will kill. It will kill.
You gotta say louder.
It will kill.
This started day 4. Yesterday, the heat treat came out perfect. Yes. But I got a mountain of work to do. I'm exhausted. My back is killing me. My arm is sore. And I'm really just wishing that my press was working. I'm behind schedule and I got a lot of makeup to do today.
Handle assembly went great. I've got my pins in, but it's a heavy sword, so the rest of my time is gonna be hogging more material off. My arms feel like they're about ready to fall off. Pattern looks amazing. My only regret is that I couldn't get more weight off of it.
All right, Bladesmiths, welcome to the kill test. Now, in Greek mythology, Perseus used his sword to decapitate Medusa and remove her head from her body to use it as a weapon. To that end, I will take your weapon and help me to deliver some killing slashes and blows to liberate her head from her body. Robert, you're up first. You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
All right, Robert, let's talk about your sword here. I like the design that you have of the Damascus in there, but it's so heavy. It's about 5 pounds over here, but the thing is, it's so forward heavy. Most of the weight's up here. When I'm lifting this, I can feel all the stress right there. This is supposed to be meant to be a single-handed use weapon. Now, your edge is plenty sharp. It was easy to thrust and cut, and it will kill. All right, Jared, your turn. You ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, Jared. First up, you nailed the balance on this. As a one-handed sword, it's about 3 pounds lighter than your opponent's. Your edge is razor sharp. Every slash is deep. The thrust, no issues at all. And most importantly, sir, it will kill.
All right, Bladesmiths, we took Medusa's head during the kill test. Now the Kraken's turned to stone. So what I'm gonna do is take your swords and beat them mercilessly into these stone Kraken heads. It's gonna be brutal. And Rob, you're up first. How you feeling?
A little nervous, but I'm ready.
You okay?
Yep, bounced off the glove, didn't cut me.
Oh, what's that? My blade breaks, my heart breaks, but I am just so glad that it didn't hurt Jay.
Oh, a little bit of a problem here, Rob. On the tang, you can see a black spot, so it means you had a stress fracture there. And with the weight of this sword hitting those stone Kraken skulls, it was enough to allow that stress fracture to just continue all the way across. So the good part is that your edge held up, so good job on the Damascus, but it's kind of hard to swing a sword without a handle on it.
Jared, your blade still has to survive 4 strikes. Jay, let's get crack-a-lackin'. Jared, your blade survived. Robert, unfortunately, your blade cannot continue to be tested in this competition, and for that reason, I have to ask you to please leave the forge. Come on forward, my friend. You killed the Medusa, though.
It really sucks that it broke, but this whole experience has been great. And I'm just gonna keep moving forward. I'm just gonna keep getting better at what I do. It's a heartbreaker, but I'm really proud of what I did.
Jared, congratulations. The strength of your weapon has ensured that you are the Forged and Fire champion, leaving this forge with a check for $10,000. Good job, brother.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
How you feeling right now?
Good.
How about a smile or something?
Yeah.
All right, come on over and shake our hands, brother. Good
Thank
job,
you.
man. Good
Thank you.
job.
I am the new Forged and Fire champion. Something I never thought I'd say. I can't wait to get home, give my daughters the news, and take the 10 grand, take my family on a vacation somewhere.
Chris, John, congratulations. You guys have made it into the third round of this competition. Now we're sending you back to your home forges to recreate this iconic weapon from American history. General Patton's Saber. Good luck. We'll see you in 4 days.
Come on. Today, I'm gonna build the actual blade part of the saber. I'm making a ladder pattern Damascus billet. I'm stacking 1085 and 15 in 20. So ladder pattern Damascus, it's a simple pattern. I'm gonna weld it, put some layers into it, and then cut it with the chop saw and then draw it out. This is a large blade, and there can be a lot of things that go wrong with this much forging. So I'm not comfortable putting all my eggs just in that one billet. So my plan is to make a 5160 billet. So I have insurance that I'll have a good blade for this build. I got lots of eggs. I got tons of eggs, and you guys need some eggs. Anybody want eggs?
Today, I hope to get the blade quenched, so I need to get this fire going.
I've picked up a little bit of a curve in this thing. I do notice that it's not an exact even heat up in the fire. There's more heat towards either end than in the middle. I don't want to waste too much more time chasing it out. There's always a chance that a lot of it will come back out once I dip it in the quench.
I believe my blade has gotten hot enough. I am ready to quench. Well, my blade was heating up. It wasn't an exact even heat up in the fire, so I do still have a fairly significant S-curve warp to it. So I quickly throw it between a couple of big chunks of wood to see if I can address the warp. If this doesn't work, I'm screwed.
Okay. I've got a very, very slight warble right towards the end, but I'm positive I can take it out with the grinder, so we might be in good shape. Feel pretty good about that. I think I'm getting very slightly soft, close to the hilt.
Rather than go through the quench process again, I think I'm just gonna go with it, keep my fingers crossed, and pray to the gods.
This morning, I'll figure out which blade is going to be worthy of going forward. I really want the Damascus to be my sword. So I start grinding on it, and right away, I start seeing some delaminations in this edge here. They want to fall apart. I'm gonna scrap the Damascus, save it for the back strap, and move on to the 5160 and make that my blade. I'm not gonna take a risk with $10,000 on the line. I go to the forge, get it hot, and I go in the quench tank. When I pull this knife out of the oil, I have a nice straight sword.
It's the morning of day 4. I think I've got myself set up really well for a final day of construction and refinement.
Once I have my wood block shaped for my handle, I start figuring out how I'm going to try to make this back strap. Got this old, kind of cool looking spoon of unknown metal. I think it's some sort of steel plated in some sort of other metal. But it looks cool, and I'm going to beat and bash and bend it until it fits around the back of my handle. All right, I get it glued up to the rest of the sword. Now, once my epoxy sets, it's gonna be time to move on to sharpening. So this blade is sharp as a razor, and it's ready for testing.
It will cut.
Today I gotta put everything together, put the final edge on the sword, and test it. So it's time to get the guard started. So we'll go up to the plasma cutter, and we cut out a piece of sheet metal that's gonna become our guard. I'm a horseshoer. We have horses. Put a horse on it. Horse head for the cavalry sword. This is my version of the cowboy's cavalry sword. Say that twice. I'm gonna acid etch the guard black, and I'm gonna put some enamel over the top just to preserve it. And then line the inside of the guard with pig leather. So I'll make sure it's nice and comfy for their hands. I finished assembling the sword just with enough daylight to be able to test it. This is whiskey. Hey, it worked. I'm finished building this crazy sword, and why not go out with a bang? America!
Welcome to the kill test. Your sabers look deadly. To find it out, I will take your weapon, deliver some slashes and thrusts on this ballistic stump. John, you're up first. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Cut its heart out. It's just not right.
All right, John, first up, let's talk about the handle construction. It's a little bit on the big side, but I'm able to hold on to it. Now, your edge. It's very sharp. And it is a pleasure to wield because aside from looking beautiful, it will kill.
Thank you very much.
All right, Chris, your turn. Are you ready, sir?
Yes, sir, I sure am.
All right, Chris, let's talk about your saber here. First up, what I love about it, it's got a sharp edge. Every swing I do cuts. The one thing here is that you did pick up a little bit of a bend right here at this junction. It's warped a little bit. But it pierces and cuts, and most importantly, it will kill.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Bladesmiths, for a strength test, I'm going to take your sabers, and I'm going to beat them and stab them into these field obstacles. Now, I'm not really concerned about what your swords do to our obstacles. I want to see the opposite, what they do to your swords. John, you're up first. You ready to go? Ready to go. Nice job, John. I like the blade. The sword itself overall is on the heavy side. The handle is a lot there, a lot of extra weight. It does help counterbalance quite a bit, though. Still got a good edge on it. There's some pretty heavy strikes on there, and the blade bent but came back to true. It's all right, tight, and straight. Good job.
Thank you.
How you feeling, Chris?
Good as I can be, sir.
All right. That right here.
Oh.
No cuts, no blood.
Lucky day.
Chris, your blade has suffered a catastrophic failure in our strength test, and unfortunately, you cannot continue with testing, which means you cannot be the Forged Fire Champion. Please exit the forge. Come on forward, pal.
I did have a small issue when it got to my heat treat.
That's all right, man.
I didn't want to risk a second quench because I didn't want to make it overly brittle. I do have some regret about that decision at this point. Of course, I would have liked to be the Forged in Fire champion, but I am really proud of myself as a weapons maker, and I plan on getting right back in my forge when I get home, and I'm going to move forward as ever.
Well, John, General Patton was known for being a tough guy, and you made a tough and sharp sword that really honors his name. Congratulations, you are the Forged in Fire champion, and that's a title that comes with a check for $10,000. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
How do you feel right now?
Oh, yeah.
All right, man, come on over and shake our hands. Good job, brother. It's a beautiful sword.
Yeah! I'm the new Forged in Fire champion.
You did a phenomenal job on that heat treat.
Thank you, sir. I'm proud of what I did, and it's been a fun deal. Hey, can I get a Forged in Fire belt buckle now? No belt buckle. Come on.
Jesse, Teddy, congratulations. You boys have made it to the final round of this competition. Now, when you showed up here, we had you make fossil Damascus. Now we're sending you back to your home forges to recreate something with a little bit more recent history. This. This is a Musketeer's Rapier.
Oh, dear. I told my wife before I left, the one weapon I did not want to build was a rapier. Yeah.
Good luck, gentlemen. We'll see you in 4 days.
I'm speechless. Good luck. Holy crap. It's day one, and I get to build the Musketeer Rapier. So I'm using 5160. It's tough, it's springy. The rapiers, since they're so thin, they are meant to flex a little bit, so that's what we're going with. So today my game plan is to hopefully get the blade roughed out. That will allow me to spend a lot of time working on the guard, making it elaborate. But right now, I'm really glad I have long arms. So I'd love to give the judges something that they want to stare at just as much as they want to use. I've got the entire blade shaped, it's beveled. I'm satisfied with where I'm at.
Day one, I'm taking on the Musketeer Rapier. Well, I'm gonna go with bar stock size of 80 CRV2, super strong, should hold up very well to the testing. That's gonna be the hardest part because I don't know what it has to survive. Hey, I'm about 40.5 inches total length, which gives me plenty of room for error. I think I'm gonna start working on the fuller. I can't complain about that, my first ever fuller. With all the factors involved in this quench, the low roof of the garage, the tall quench tank, a ladder just to reach above it, I'm hoping that I can get it right the first time. Ah, damn it! Catastrophically, the sword drops out of my hands. I hear the tip hit the bottom of the tank. I pull the sword out of the quench. I see this huge bow. I gotta get this thing in my straightening jig. I have no idea what's gonna come out. I'm really scared, I'm really nervous. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do this a second time. So the sword's cooled off in the straightening jig. Let's see if I just performed a miracle here. It's time to open it up and see what's inside. Holy crap. There's slight warpage on there, but nothing crazy that I can't fix with a grinder. She's hard. I've never made a sword before, so I'm ecstatic right now.
The plan for today is I got to get the blade rough ground and heat treated. This thing is so freaking long. And then it'll be on to all the fittings and furnishings. It's not biting, it's not skating quite right. I realize I have to requench, I have to reharden this. I just want to make sure that when it gets to the judges, it's going to survive whatever they throw at it. Not seeing any warps. So that is without a doubt hard. It's still a little bit beefy compared to what I wanted in long run, but I'm satisfied with it.
For this handle, I'm gonna go with a nice hardwood and offset that with different color micarta and then epoxy together so I can shape it off of the sword. Yeah, that came together pretty nice. With the time I got left, I'm gonna start shaping all these quillions and knuckle bows and all that frou-frou stuff on the handles.
I'm really happy with where I'm at. The elements I have to get finished are the knuckle bow, 2 sidebars, and a pommel. There's your knuckle bow. The finish that I'm gonna put on it, it's gonna look rugged, but clean, pretty, and just Overall, well-constructed piece, $10,000 worthy, no doubt. Dry fit up in place, it's looking good. At the end of the crossguard, I have 2 quillions that, dragon fingers, claws, that should be clutching a gem or 2. They look dragon-esque. That's done. It is a little bit heavy for what I was aiming for, but it has good balance. So overall, I'm really happy with how this sword turned out.
Today's going to be all about fit and finish and completing this sword. The blade itself, I'm pretty much happy with the geometry of it, but I want to see if I can remove some weight at the tip. I want Doug to be swinging that thing all over the place and having a good time with it. But now that everything's permanently affixed, just got to clean it up, sharpen it up a little bit. I can't wait to see the judges test this thing.
All right, Bladesmiths, welcome to the kill test. I'm gonna take your rapiers and deliver some killing slashes and thrusts on this big carcass. For these musketeer swords, it's time to find out if you're all-for-one champion or one for all the runner-ups. Jesse, you're up first. You ready for this?
Let's cut some bacon.
All right, let's do this.
Dude, you gotta work out.
All right, Jesse, this edge is sharp. A rapier cut it big in half? That's very interesting. For every slash, the edge lands exactly where I want it to be.
Okay.
Overall, sir, for this test, it will kill. All right, ready, Teddy?
Let's do it.
Let's do this. All right, Teddy, your edge. When you're slashing with the razor's edge that you have on your blade, it slices easily and deeply on this big carcass. Your weapon, sir, will kill.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right, gentlemen, it's time for the strength test, a little thing I like to call the Wheel of Pain. Now, a rapier needs to be a fast, light, flexible weapon. We're gonna see how flexible yours are. All right, Jesse, so I've got your blade strapped into our Wheel of Pain right now. Now, I'm going to be flexing it in both directions. I'll be taking it all the way to that far red peg, holding it for about 3 seconds, and we'll see if it comes back true, and then we're going the other direction, all right?
Go nuts.
That ship sailed.
It's back to true, dude.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, Jesse, first off, remarkable. But I mean, there's a lot of weight in this blade, a lot of mass. So to have it flex the way it did and come back virtually to true, this blade is still straight enough to fight with, which is excellent.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Teddy, you ready for this?
Let's do it.
So, Teddy, you can see where it took the bends here and here. And the initial bend, it actually bent this way, and then we bent it back, and it went the other way. So it leaves some question about the heat treat, you know, how even it is through the blade. you know, it's just, I worry about that bend.
Teddy, unfortunately, a less than perfect heat treat has led to your rapier taking a permanent bend. Now, this is going to affect accuracy when it comes to the use of the weapon in our sharpness test. And for that reason, this is a catastrophic failure, and you cannot continue with this competition. Come on forward, my friend. Good job, brother.
I'm definitely not happy. No one enjoys having anything they build not work properly. I've had a blast. I've made a few good friends. I've been able to take time and build something I otherwise wouldn't have built, so the experience has been great.
Jesse, congratulations. You are the Forged and Fire champion, and that is the title that comes with a check for 10 grand. Good job, brother.
I'm on cloud 9. This is probably the most fun I've ever had doing hard labor. I proved to myself that I'm capable to do a whole lot more than I thought I could.
Bladesmiths, now it's time to send you back to your home forges to recreate this iconic weapon. Jay Nielsen's War Scythe.
Next up, I'll be pre-testing Jay Nielsen's War Scythe.
This War Scythe was personally created by our very own beast from the East. This War Scythe is a menacing variation on a centuries-old peasant's weapon from Middle-Age Europe. Ready for battle at a moment's notice, farmers would take their scythes from work to war during uprisings, riots, or calls to battle. This weapon uses a long shaft to generate massive power to cut down enemies, while its lethal sharp point could be thrust into infantry and cavalry. This multifaceted scythe features a fork opposite the blade as a brutal piercing element, and a small blade at the bottom of the pole to finish off an opponent. Scythes are represented in pop culture as sinister and ominous weapons symbolizing death, and is most notoriously wielded by the Grim Reaper.
It was a very interesting weapon because you got a scythe and you got a blade, a curved blade here, and the edges on the outside. Have I ever tested anything like that? No. And when I did, pure heaven.
The kill test master, Doug Markida.
Yeah, he just looks like a murderer.
So this is a weapon, if you're not careful or unfamiliar with it, you can actually hurt yourself. When you got blades everywhere, facing the wrong way, you got the front, the back here, and the hook blade and everything else, you really have to be used to handling weapons and knowing where everything dangerous, everything sharp is at. Every time you swing, you make sure that you don't swing it back to cut yourself. To test Jay Nielsen's War Scythe, because we didn't have another weapon just like it, we had to make a mock-up of it that was similar to the dimensions that Jay presented. It was very interesting. It was very revealing on how to fight with something like this without cutting yourself. As you're coming forward, there's a blade right there, so I gotta be careful of that. As I'm going this, there's another blade over here. Just wielding that thing, it really gave me a chance to actually learn to adjust and create a movement that keeps me safe, but at the same time do maximum damage to what's in front of me. All right, Alex. The balance is light, allowing it to be a very fast weapon that you can use middle-hand, long-handed, or for close quarters. Your weapon will kill. All right, Trevor, trick or treat. Treat? Indeed. All right, Trevor, the tip alone penetrates deeply into the gut, and the edges here are sharp enough to, well, make it lose its head. Overall, sir, it will kill.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Smiths, welcome to the strength test, the dreaded coffin challenge. I'm gonna take these bones and beat them repeatedly into the blade of your scythe. And Alex, you're locked in and ready to go first. You ready?
Yep.
That's what I want to hear. Alex, you survived. Good job. The only issue I have, you have some slight rolling on the edge, and the head of this moves, so it's not secure anymore. But your edge held up great. Good job.
Thank you.
How you feeling, Trevor?
Pretty good right now.
Good? We'll see how you feel in a minute. Nice job, Trevor. Held up well. Your edge is still good, nice and sharp. Everything's still tight. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, Bladesmiths, this is the sharpest test, the zombie surprise. To test the edge of your weapon, I'm gonna take your scythe and cut through this rope, thereby releasing a surprise.
All right.
Alex, you're up first. Ready?
Certainly.
All right, Alex, it cut easily on the rope. When you're puncturing this, it cuts through and slices. It will cut.
Thank you.
All right, Trevor, your turn. So you ready?
Hell yeah.
All right, Trevor, the edge that you have here lends itself to cut the rope much easier. When you're puncturing, it starts to cut all the way through. Overall, sir, it will cut.
Thank you.
All right, Bladesmiths, you guys have done fantastic work, but only one of you can be the Forged in Fire champion, and that champion is Trevor. Congratulations, you are the new Forged in Fire champion. Alex, unfortunately, your blade took some damage in our strength test. Did great work, my friend, but at this time, I have to ask you to please exit the forge.
Ultimately, it came down to the construction. I think I definitely made a blade that can intimidate anyone.
Well, Trevor, the judges all agree you made a damn near perfect War Scythe, which has earned you the title of Forged in Fire champion and a check for $10,000. Good job, brother. Come on forward and shake our hands.
I won! Woo! I think the biggest thing I learned was to keep on trying. If something doesn't go your way, don't get upset about it, just keep moving forward. This was a perfect Halloween experience. I feel like I just went trick-or-treating and I got a pillowcase full of candy.